throat. Will Sylvia please report to the front of the office? I need to talk to Sylvia. Where is Sylvia? Is she awake? Because now, hold up, I can't even see my screen. Don't switch. Switch. Sylvia. Welcome everybody. You guys hit that like button. Let me tell you what's going on, okay? Listen, I have an Amazon wish list. Some of you guys have sent stuff for me, Baby Bunny, for the, studio, whatever it is, right? And it's one of those Amazon wish lists where you can like edit and actually add things and remove things and whatnot. Well, you guys know that I've been dealing with my sinuses all week, right? And I did not have tissue. So I was using toilet paper. What's wrong with using toilet paper? It's very demure. Okay, it is what it is. Hold up, I'm trying to fix myself. Well, oh my gosh. Sylvia decides to send me a box of tissue on the Amazon wish list. I got 8 boxes of tissue. All right. Basically, 1 box for every room in the kitchen. We're going to have tissue in. What's wrong with toilet paper? Sylvia literally sent me a box of tissues on my Amazon wish list. So so of course I get the box this morning and I'm like, because Amazon doesn't just send you like the box, right? They send you a box inside of a box. I have 2 boxes. So it was this box, another box, and then another box. Literally 2 boxes to get to this 1 box of tissue paper. Listen, I'm not mad. There's nothing wrong with tissue paper. I just thought it was hilarious. You know what, GMAT? Amazon is doing the most. I don't know if they just say, fuck it, we're just lazy. We're just, because like, of course, I mean, there's nothing fragile about tissue, right? Like it's not going to rip. Of course you can damage a tissue box. I get it. But it's really getting to the tissue box, then realizing that these are just tissues that I was like, oh my God, you got to be joking me. So yes, shout out to Sylvia. Sylvia, I think I'm fine with tissue. All right. I don't need tissue. Thank God. Although I was fine with toilet paper because, when you listen, toilet paper can be used in different ways, right? We can definitely do that. But I just got to throw that box on the other side of the room. So yeah, shout out to us. We will not be running out of tissue. And basically I got a box for every room, including the the bathroom, yo. Just saying. Welcome everybody. Hey, you said hey crazy Diddy update. Will just did you see Monica the BJ's video? I was modding last night for BJ, and let me just say we're gonna start with Diddy right away. We got a couple topics to cover for sure. We got to talk about, let me look at my list. We have Diddy, of course, and the witnesses. And by the way, I think we know who the witness is, believe it or not, because I was watching a little bit of Armand Wiggins, who basically said that the witness that Diddy might have paid is possibly Kalina Harper from Diddy Dirty Money. Okay, so there's that. And then we have talked about Dog the Bounty Hunter doing the most with the attorney, and then in I Don't Give a Fuck news, Gypsy Rose is doing the most. So we got to talk about that. Now I know, shout out to Tricky Vicky who was like, Rabbit, I know you're gonna give me like this great unbiased. Shout out to Tricky Vicky. She's like, I've been waiting for you to cover Gypsy Rose. Listen, Gypsy Rose, we gonna get into her here in a minute, but I don't know what to make of her. She's leaving social media. She's not leaving social media. I'm like, girl, make up your mind. You know you want to be the next Kim Kardashian at this point. Like, you might as well just say that. You might as well just be real and stop trying to pander to a certain audience. But we'll get to that. Okay, I promise. I promise. All right. Are the people awake? Did you guys wake up, Wim? Where's Sylvia? I still don't see Sylvia in the chat. Anyways, if you guys see Sylvia, shout out to Sylvia again. Thank you for hooking that up with the tissues, of course. Thank you. You can never go wrong with an essential. Okay. You said it's Kalina? For sure, Kalina? Ooh, okay. Well, we're going to start with Diddy. Let's start with Diddy because we got so much to review. Lord have mercy. Why don't we start with this article? And by the way, I definitely recommend that you guys watch BJ Investigates for this because, first of all, Legal Eye breaks it down. You can't get any better than that. And then she explains it. I like that with BJ, right? Because I feel like a lot of the people don't do this very often, especially with the legal doc. Now, because, of course, could be because they're not attorneys. We're not attorneys. We're just interpreting the information as regular, right? But BJ definitely kind of gives you. She breaks down some of the arguments. She gives you the arguments on both sides, and I definitely appreciate BJ for that. So shout out to BJ. Okay, let's close this right here. So prosecutors accuse Sean Diddy Combs of violating jail rules and using his kids to influence potential jurors. I definitely believe that that is exactly what is happening. I personally believe that Diddy has been using his children, his image. I mean, he gave access to his IG to, what was it, the oldest son. They are very much. Yeah, Ray J's over here. By the way, Ray J's having like he's struggling mentally. By the way, I don't know if anybody knows that. He's not doing too well with his mental health, which I kind of felt like that was going to happen because of kind of like I don't know what it is about Ray J, but I feel like I can't diagnose anybody. You know what I mean? Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. But there's something about Ray J that he kind of goes in patterns, and you kind of tend to notice that. I feel like sometimes part of me is like, you just a troll, Ray J, which he is, but sometimes I feel for him because I feel like a lot of that I might have to do with his own mental health. And I hope that he gets himself in check because of that. I don't think he's doing too well. I don't know what it is about Ray J, but like Ray J definitely strikes me as somebody who doesn't have his mental health on check. You said, ooh, he is having a meltdown. It's either guilt or he's trying to muck the water. Something is going on with Ray J. See, Dazzler, I don't know why Ray J inserted himself in this. Does he have a diagnosis? You said bad. Cheeks is like, listen, I'll diagnose him as bad behavior. Well, he's got something. Something's going on. Yes, didn't the Diddy boys threaten basically to silence him pretty much? And he's been going live and saying that that there was a shooting or some shit like that. But there's something definitely off about Ray J. And I think part of it is because there is this level of like, I want to insert myself and my career isn't what it was. I personally think that that's what it is, M says Diddy had over 8 phones, called and texted over 100 people outside of his network. I believe it. I don't believe, let me tell you something. This is no joke. I don't believe anybody's safe that has made an allegation against Diddy at this point because this man is not going to. And at the very least, I hope, because it's like ping pong. They're filing new things. They're filing other things. They get rejected. They don't get rejected. It's just weird how all of this is happening, right? And so it's like, you guys, this man has no regard for the law, period. You got a chirp phone in jail. Yes, I said a chirp phone. By the way, I miss the chirp phones. That used to be the thing in my 20s. Anyways, they have the chirp phones in jail, and they're doing the most. And he's getting people to basically talk, smuggle calls. I don't know what the hell, and intimidate witnesses. Try to drive what is going on out here. This man cannot control himself because he's always been in control of something, of somebody, of something. Yes, you said I love that chirp, right? The PTT chirp phone. Oh my god, I think I still have a chirp phone somewhere in my closet. I mean, I be keeping shit. That's the problem. I love the chirp phones. You said Diddy has a sale on Diddy oil. I heard it was really, really. Is that real? Oklahoma. Shout out to Oklahoma. Is that real? Hey, Iron Rabbit. Hey, everybody, come through, come through. I'm giving the people some time to get in here because we just started. Mm. Um, uh, like you don't know. Like you don't know. Like you know, Sylvia. Look at Sylvia walking in here like nothing was done. Hold up. Let me tell the people we are live. We are live now. Somebody tell Sylvia, like you don't know, Sylvia. What are you doing, Sylvia? Somebody take the Amazon away from Sylvia. Sylvia got 8 boxes, a box for every damn room. Shout out to you. I appreciate it, but literally was not expecting 8 boxes of tissue. I won't be running out of tissue for a while. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. So, anyways, shout out to you guys. So let's get into this article. So in the prosecution's November 15 opposition, which by the way, shout out to Danny Robertson. I have a copy. I think it's like 190 pages. And that's what BJ reviewed. That's why I'm saying it's very important. Go to somebody with like a legal scope to review it because it's helpful, right? And she broke it down. So here we go. We have the latest motion for bail. The mogul is accused of attempting to influence a potential jury with a family birthday video with all his kids, and I'm not at all whatsoever surprised. So prosecutors are claiming that Sean Diddy Combs has made an effort to evade law enforcement monitoring and corruptly influence witness testimony while incarcerated at the Metro Detention Center in Brooklyn. Now, in new court docs, which were filed on Friday the 15th and obtained by People, the 55-year-old music mogul is accused of using other inmates' phone access. I wonder how he did that. Okay. Using a non-authorized third-party messaging services. Now, what kind of third-party messaging services would that be? Can y'all tell me why there is like Wi-Fi in jail? Like, I know like certain, facilities will have it because believe it or not, people can have like iPads and stuff like that in there, right? We know that. So I just want to know, like, what is it? Why can't what? I mean, you would think that that would be limited. You said he's using third party. Also had those 8 phones. Like who he's been contacting, right? Like who's he contacting? And let me tell you, it wouldn't be surprising. You think it's a phone app? My money. Are y'all ready? Let me tell you. My money is on I wouldn't be surprised if there are YouTubers here who have some level of access or contact to Diddy. Now, who is it? Because it has happened before where YouTubers are receiving. Let me tell you, the age of media, the age of who is who are they working with is very different. It has changed. It has changed. I'm telling you, GMAT. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. You said tablets. Okay. I'm telling you, it would not be surprising to me that there's probably a couple YouTubers who are kind of working on that camp. And let me tell you, money talks. Money talks. That's how it is. So don't be surprised. I would start kind of side-eyeing the people that are like pro Diddy. Pro Diddy. You said it's okay. Shout out to Sean. Sean, by the way, thank you so much for the Amazon. I got it, love. Thank you. Thank you. It's an app that it's called like Contact Me Now. BJ mentioned the name on the app. Okay. Shout out to BJ. All right. So anyways, so I guess I don't know how he's influencing, if he's using a celebrity to say like, listen, if you let me use your minutes or your phone or your third party app, yeah, just that would be nice. If your money can't buy your freedom, what good is it? Right? Eat more pizza. Tell them like, what good is it if the money can't buy you freedom? That's a great question, right? Uh, not enough money. Hell, like people, not money can't buy a whole lot. Can't buy you life. Can't buy you time. Can't buy you freedom. All right. And even mentally. Okay. Okay. So a non-authorized third-party messaging service is to communicate with multiple people and enlisting his children for a social media campaign, not surprise, around his birthday, alleging in an efforts to influence a potential jury. Wow. So the new allegations come out as part of the prosecution's opposition to Combs' latest motion for bail filed on November 8th after he was denied bail by 2 different federal judges following his September indictment on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, of course, RICO. A lawyer for Combs did not respond to People requests for comments on Saturday, the 16th. Now, in the new court docs, prosecutors argue that Combs offered nothing new material justifying a third bail hearing and has continued to engage in a relentless course of obstruction conduct designed to basically muddy the waters, honestly, while attempting to evade law enforcement monitoring. The defendant, among other things, orchestrated social media campaigns that are, in his own words, aimed at tainting the jury pool, made efforts to publicly leak material he views as helpful to his case, contacted witnesses through third parties, and the document what the this is what the document alleges, excuse me. For these reasons, the court should deny the defendant's new bail hearing. Now let me say this, all right? Now let me play the devil's advocate. Okay? Let me just play now. I got to blow my nose. Thank you, Sylvia. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Ooh, all right. See, I did blow my nose. Thank you. Thank you. By the way, these are Puffs Plus Lotion. My skin has been peeling because of the toilet paper. So thank you, Sylvia. Thank you. Thank you. An essential, very much needed. Okay. Let me play devil's advocate. Y'all ready for the devil? Let me play it. Let's say couldn't you make the same argument for the other side too, though? That because these people that are exposing the truth, these truth tellers, right? Like, and I'm talking about your Gene Deals, your Jaguar Wrights, your Adria English. I'm just thinking of everybody else, your Allie Carters, these people that are coming out saying things, right? That are giving information. Wouldn't you be able to say that what they're doing here on social media, because hear me out. What he's saying, what they're saying here is that Diddy has a social media campaign basically to taint the jury pool. Wouldn't you be able to say the same for the people that are making a bunch of allegations about what's been said or happening, on the other side? Like, in general, wouldn't you say that what happens in social media for both ends is very important? What you put out there is very important. And not that people shouldn't know, but couldn't the jury be tainted either way? I just don't know how you can get a jury that is totally not going to know who the fuck Diddy is. Like, are you going to get somebody who is not? Everybody knows who Diddy is. Everybody knows who Diddy is. You're going to have to get people from like faraway villages to make sure that they sit on this jury and they're not tainted. Does that make sense? Like, this is going to be hard. I don't know. But for both ends, I feel like you're damn if you do, damn if you don't. You want to give the people the opportunity to give their stories, their allegations, right? Just saying. But at the same time, on the other hand of this, the other side of this is, if you do that and you silence everybody, like, there's going to be people that, are also going to take the jury either way. I don't know. You said, I'm just saying, who are we going to get? The only Angie's like, you get the boomers. No, I got some boomers in my chat that know who Diddy is. Come on now. Hell, I think my dad knows who Diddy is. Like, everybody knows who Diddy is. I just don't think, I don't know how you can get away with this. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. You can't. I'm just saying. What do you guys think? No. They're gonna have to get people from like that don't have internet access from like the other side of the hills to get these people to sit on this jury pool, because I just don't know how you can do it. How do you not know who Diddy is? And then you have people tainting the pool from everywhere. You said they're gonna get the Amish. Girl, do the Amish get mail? Like, isn't that how far out there? Shout out to the Amish, by the way. I remember long years ago, I was in Ohio one time, and there's like this area, there's a huge Amish community, right? And oh man, I never felt so out of place in my life when I went to this little community that people were staring at me like they had never seen somebody like me. Anyways, but I'm saying, what do you guys think? Let me know. Hold up, let me see. Have you seen the interview with Jaguar Wright's son? Oh, Amy, that interview is old. Tasha K put that. Tasha K. Shout out to Tasha K. I like Tasha K. You guys know I love Tasha K. Even though people don't get along with each other, I like Tasha K. But that interview is so old. She put that out there, and Jaguar Wright talking about she's gonna sue her son. And I'm just like, you gonna sue your own son? All right then. I mean, literally, I look at Jaguar Wright's son, and it's like I'm seeing Jaguar Wright. I don't know what it is. I'm just saying. Yes, yes. You from Ohio too? Okay. All right. All right. You miss your Amish brothers? I've never been to like an Amish like community. It was the first time. Anyways. So that's who they have to get. They have to get the people that don't even know who Diddy is. Now, somebody said it was the Amish. I said, well, Lord have mercy. I mean, do the Amish get mail? Will they get pulled into this? It should be interesting. It should be interesting. That's what I'm gonna say. All right. So while attempting to evade law enforcement monitoring, the defendant has, among other things, orchestrated social media campaigns. We read that part. In the opposition, prosecutors allege that Combs has repeatedly communicated with others in ways that are designed to evade law enforcement monitoring by using other inmates' phone access codes. PAC numbers to make calls using three-way calls to contact other individuals. But isn't this all recorded? These are recorded. So couldn't people FOIA this? Oh, I already know people are going to try to FOIA this because I'm pretty sure you can FOIA inmate calls, guys. Pretty sure you can. So he's using these apps to make three-way calls to contact other individuals, messaging unauthorized contacts via an unauthorized third-party communications system called Contact Me ASAP. Combs has also directed others to pay the inmates, including through payment processes, apps, BOP commissary accounts, deposits. I'm telling you. So he went from Diddy run the city to Diddy runs the jail. I guess. I don't know. Paid commissary. That's right. I mean, he's figuring it out. He has figured it out. You said somebody gets calls from prison? Yeah. I mean, I think you can pull those. You can FOIA those. I could be wrong. Y'all look this up. I didn't look this up, but let me know. As for the three-way calls, Combs is alleged to have instructed those he's on the phone with to add other individuals to the line, a process that is not authorized by the BOP, the Bureau of Prisons. Well, how long has this been happening? Who's been monitoring this? How did this go? I have a lot of questions. So, as it helps conceal the identities of the contacted individuals. Per the prosecution, Combs is also accused of using two accounts of messaging services, Contact Me ASAP, the first of which appeared to be assigned to his son. Oh, which one? And another belonging to another inmate. King, I think it's King. King, report yourself to the office because they're talking about you. I think it's King. Because King gives me I don't know, he's like in the fuck shit. Like I don't know. I could be wrong. What do you guys think? A King kind of gives me that impression. Thank you, Oklahoma. Shout out to Oklahoma. Said the calls are of public record. Somebody's going to FOIA those calls and they're going to drop them. Watch. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And it's interesting how they're doing all of this around. I'm wondering what guards are facilitating this, what they're doing, because that's typically how it happens. You know what I mean? Okay, so the prosecution, Combs is also accused of two accounts. We read that. First of which appeared to be assigned to his son. We read that. So to text dozens of individuals, including attorneys, individuals who are not on the defendant's contact list. Okay, Agnifilo, how do you not know about any of this bullshit? Like, I call bullshit on the bullshit that you're doing. You need to figure out what to do with your client. Agnifilo, is he not listening to you? Because it's literally you are putting your career on the line with this shit right here. I'm just saying. So he has continued his efforts to obstruct and subvert his criminal proceedings per the filing, which notes that on multiple calls using the PAC numbers of other inmates has been explicit about his intentions to use public statements to alter public perception. The defendant enlisted family members to plan and execute a social media campaign around the defendant's birthday. Not surprised. Check who has access to his IG, which I believe is King. Pretty sure it's King at this point, with the intentions to influence the potential jury in his criminal proceedings. At the defendant's careful curated direction, the defendant's children posted a video to their respective social media accounts showing the defendant's children gathering to celebrate the defendant's birthday. Now, they monitor the analytics of the social media footage, explicitly discuss with his family how to ensure that the video had his desired effect on potential jury members in the case. They're monitoring the analytics. Oh my God, they went as far as to do all that? That's crazy. That is okay. All right. You said Agnifilo wishes he was back in his big mafioso case right now, right? Like, this is worse than Keith Raniere. honestly, and the other clients that he's represented. So shout out to Armand. I'm not gonna play this whole thing, y'all. Let me hit the like button on this. Um, he literally said that Kalina Harper was the one that's been exposed to have received something, okay, from Diddy.
Up and everybody, it's your boy Armando. We're back with another video. Get
Let
in
me know if
here,
you
get
hear
in
it.
here. It's time to get into some things, okay? All right, so we got to talk about this Diddy stuff because Diddy is
Come on,
heating up
Armand.
even more now, okay? And we haven't talked about it in a while on this platform because I just feel like every other day is
Yes.
something else going on with the case, the trial. It's new witnesses, it's new lawsuits.
That's
Like it's
right.
like Jesus, what? Like it's always something new. So the latest thing was he was trying to get bail again, right? Well, now it has came up that the prosecution, they're like, no, we don't, he does not need bail because he has been doing everything to corrupt the law. Yes, they are saying that Diddy is out here having his way in the jail. Okay, having his way, paying the inmates to use their phones,
I
pass
believe it.
messages to one another, use three-way calls, and having each other pay one another. So it looks like he's not doing any of the work, but he's got like kind of like a they're all working for him inside the jail, but then he's like kind of paying them off through one another. And they're doing it through like
Wow.
commissary, or he have somebody, put something on their books or things like that. And apparently he's been doing that to contact witnesses on the outside. Yes. So he's been trying to contact the witnesses, and one of them have been named in the suit. Kalina Harper. You remember her? She was part of Dirty Money. Well,
Yep.
apparently he had contacted her right before the lawsuit got filed, and reached out to her and pretty much told her like, "Hey." They talked about 4 minutes on the phone one time. Then they had they were doing text messages back and forth. They had like 128 phone conversation interactions, right?
Kalina has been paid, y'all. Allegedly, Kalina has been paid to basically, because she did this interview and you guys were like, yo, is she on something? What's going on with Kalina? She couldn't even, she was just like not even looking at the camera. She did this little singing thing talking about Don Richards, bitch, yada, yada, yada. And then, Cassie, she's in that shit. She was all over the place. We're like, sit down, Kalina, sit down, sit down. Look at the camera and say what it is that you want to say. I feel like I'm Diddy because Diddy, we see each other. It was really, really weird what she was doing on that interview. Just say it. And like I said, I don't believe she was alone. I believe she was influenced. She was influenced to do the most during that interview and to give a statement to speak against Don Richards.
And feds have all this information. So apparently, right after that, she was paid, allegedly, to make the statement going against Don and Danny and Dirty Money.
I
and
believe it.
cheering Diddy on and taking up for Diddy. Remember when she made that statement on Instagram and everybody was like, "Oh wow!" Like so, she's supporting Diddy. Well, the word on the curb is she was paid because Diddy got in contact with her and was like, "Listen, what is it going to take? I got this, this, and that. I need you to make this statement. I need you to do this and debunk what's going on because your name was mentioned in this lawsuit. So I need you to have my back." And she took the payout. And so
she took the payout. Allegedly, she took the payout. And I believe it. I just couldn't understand why Kalina, I don't know. Word on the curb. That's right. Word on the curb. I think it was. To me, Kalina gives me that impression that she would never, I don't think she would have ever, she will never speak against Diddy unless she absolutely has to. I don't know what it is. And it's kind of sad because I don't know, maybe it just speaks to her character.
So apparently now he's trying to do that with many different witnesses. This is why they're saying, hey, he cannot get out because if he gets out, then he's going to have a muck to run because he's already doing it with the inmates inside. Okay. So let me
just imagine. Okay. He went from receiving the key to the city to the key to the Metropolitan Detention Center where he's at right now. Honestly, for him to be able to do all this, and then are they just all these calls are supposed to be recorded? They're supposed to end at some point if there's any weirdness. You guys can FOIA those calls because they're of public record, right? Like we know this, but I'm just wondering, like, if we know that this is what he's been doing and the audacity for you to continue to apply for a new bail hearing, the audacity to waste people's time when you can't even just sit your ass where you're at right now, save the money that you have, because this man is going to go broke, you guys. He just is. There's going to be a time where Agnifilo, mark my words, Write it down. Mark it. Boom. I said it. Agnifalo's going to say, Your Honor, I would like to, what's the word? Is it recuse, remove, leave, dismiss myself from this representation of this client? Because he's doing that. It's going to happen. He's going to, because he won't be able to afford the attorney, and he's doing the most. And you are literally like working too damn hard to represent a fucking criminal. You know what I mean? Is it recuse? Thank you. See, I knew I had the word. Your Honor, I had the word, right? Anyways.
Read a little bit of this article on the New York Times, and then we'll read a little bit of the paperwork on Megan Kunin's site. All right. So
I think Armand needs some. Armand, do you need some tissue? I'm just telling you, I got over that damn sinus. I'm still blowing my nose. I get it.
Prosecutors accused Sean Combs of trying to contact witnesses. The government said the music mogul has been attempting to obstruct federal prosecutors by instructing others to make three-way calls and securing help from other inmates.
I believe it.
Accused Sean Combs of his continuous efforts to obstruct the federal hearing case. Okay.
So here's the deal, though. Like, Agnifalo's arguing, well, everybody here is making allegations. They're making a shit show of this situation, yada, yada, yada. You know, they're doing the most. Everybody here is doing the most. And I'm just sitting there like, really? But you're over here doing the most in jail. What are you doing? Oh, he's got burners. Yeah, he's got burners. I believe it. I believe it. I don't think he's going to get bail. I don't think he's going to get a bail hearing. And if he does get a bail hearing, I don't think he's going to get bail. And I don't think anybody who has, I'm just saying, I don't think anybody who has been in support of Diddy or is in support of Diddy really understands just how dangerous the situation has become. Ray J's having a meltdown. Somebody go sit with Ray J, check on him, make sure he's okay, because he's not doing too well on social media. He's all over the fucking place. Somebody go check on Ray J. But everybody like needs to just take a step back, okay? Yes, you can easily smuggle a phone in jail. You are absolutely right. All right, let's talk about Gypsy Rose. In my We Don't Give a Fuck news, personally, I don't give a fuck. But you guys send me this stuff, and you're like, listen, I'm following the Gypsy Rose stuff, and I really want to know your take. And I said no, but I'm going to talk about it. So pregnant Gypsy Rose Blanchard says she's no longer sharing personal updates as she wants a more private life. Bullshit. Okay. See, here's the deal. About a year ago, we were all rooting for Gypsy. At least I was. I was rooting for her. I was saying, I really hope that, you know, she's going to come out here and educate the masses about the abuse that she went through with her mother. She's going to do, you know, the best. She's going to change maybe legislation, change lives. Man, was I fucking wrong. I got to go eat some crow. And it's just been a shit show. It'll be a year. What, in December? And people have been uncovering stuff about her. There's a whole sector that speaks on her. Shout out to them. There's a couple of really good creators that are really trying to bring attention to Nicholas Godejohn, the man that's been accused of the horrific crime with Gypsy. And I just don't think that he got a fair shot. That here we have this situation where, and I'm not saying, again, I definitely believe that Gypsy Rose was a victim of a situation. But if you really look into Gypsy Rose's case, it's not as black and white as it seems. There's other moving parts to this. You know what I mean? She was abused by her mother, but she wasn't a child. She had the ability to walk away. She, in my opinion, played a bigger role in her mother being killed. There's a lot of people, and some of you guys can attest to this in the chat. You might have been abused by your parent, but you didn't go off your parent. You might have said, fuck you, parent. I'm never talking to you again. And that's it. That's all. But you didn't go and kill your parent, right? Not everybody that is abused by their parent pulls like a Menendez. Nobody does that. Like, not everybody does that. And it's the same with Gypsy Rose. So Gypsy Rose says, I'm gonna, she plans this horrific murder situation, right? And now she's over here, now that she's done like social media, she's been getting in the F shit with people on social media. She's been meeting Kim Kardashian, doing the most. It's really weird. She's now saying, I'm pregnant and I'm going to, no longer share my private life. And then I'm also hearing that the man that she's pregnant with, did we find out who the baby daddy is? I'm wondering. I hate to put it that way, but the father of this child. And that was the one thing we told her in this channel, Gypsy Rose. Be careful about getting pregnant because you just started your life. You literally spend how many years behind bars? Like, get to know yourself, get some help, and help others. That's what you do. That's how you give back. Ken, thank you. So is Ken the father? Is Ken the father? Do we know? Or is it the other guy, Ryan? She was mad at Ryan because he's like a hoarder. He likes to buy food on, at Costco. Some shit like that. That's what I remember the last time. You really hope now okay, now why would Ryan take her back? Because aren't they like going through a divorce or anyways, so this girl does the most. So she's now apparently keeping her personal life private in the future, even though she's on TikTok, even though she's over here with Jeffree Star, even though she's all over the place, she's not keeping her shit on private. Apparently, the Ken has left her and she's pregnant. So she announced that Ken is the father. Got it. But we don't know. Well, I mean, have we done? I don't know if we can do DNA. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I've never been in a situation like this, but I do wonder what this is looking like. And I feel sorry for her kid, honestly, for this child that she's expecting. I feel sorry for her kid because her kid is going to be scrutinized. I'm serious. People are going to be pulling the genetics of this child. They're going to figure out, okay, is this child really disabled or, because the mama's not well? What is going on? Okay. They're going to be pulling all kinds of things on this child. I feel really sorry for this baby. I honestly do. I don't think this was the right time. And honestly, I think that she wanted to get pregnant as a publicity stunt. That's my opinion. That's what I think. I think that this was a publicity stunt. I think this is what was giving her more content. And at the end of the day, if I was Gypsy Rose and, I mean, who's going to hire Gypsy Rose at a restaurant right now? Nobody. She's going to do what she's going to do on social media. That's what she's going to do. You said if you want to be private, why announce your private social media page? Okay, guys. She said in an update on a TikTok on Saturday, November 16th, the 33-year-old said that she is no longer sharing personal content on her social media accounts. Bullshit. In order to protect herself and her family. So she's expecting her first child with boyfriend Ken. I will no longer be posting personal content on public platforms. Since I was released, I have shared with supporters my hardships and achievements through the lens of social media. However, I find myself at a crossroads that leads me to desire more private life, sharing with only family and close friends those special moments. Bullshit. There's this private Facebook. There's private. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. So she shows, hold up. And then it says right here, Blanchard then shared her appreciation of those who have supported her along the way and noted that she will be posting updates on my new little memoir, My Time to Stand, as a future season of her Lifetime docu-series. I'm so confused by Gypsy Rose. The confusion of Gypsy Rose, I don't get it. And honestly, I feel like she is rightfully criticized. It's very hard. Like Tricky Vicky said, like I empathize with some of the things that she might have been through, but there's a lot of people here that have been through similar situations and don't do the shit that she did and then become famous afterwards and then uses her celebrity to do the most on social media versus helping somebody else who might be in a very similar situation, if you know what I mean. Shout out to you guys. Okay. All right. We got to get into Dog the Bounty Hunter. Oh, Lord. Let me start with a little disclaimer because I have to. Oh, my. I should have started with the disclaimer and a prayer. Hold up. Now, let's start right here because Court TV, let me show you guys what Court TV did. Okay. Court TV says we're going to interview Dog the Bounty Hunter joins Court TV to discuss the search for Sebastian Rogers. But why did they unlist the interview? For those that don't know YouTube, get your fucking skunks ready. Thank you, Layla. Get your skunks up. Shout out to you guys. For those that don't know YouTube, anytime you unlist something, okay, it stops. The only way a person can get it is through sharing the link of that video. It's not like public per se. It's only being shared amongst a link. And then you have 2.3K views. Typically, when Dog the Bounty Hunter goes on Court TV and says some crazy ass shit about the Sebastian Rogers case, you're gonna get your views up. So just know that I'm wondering, Court TV, are you kind of scared about a lawsuit at this point? Because you wouldn't have done that unless you weren't worried about something. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't do shit like that. They're worried about something. So Dog the Bounty Hunter, and let me start by saying this, you guys. Please hold up, because I swear these people are very litigious, and I'm very mindful of what's going on. Please do not contact any person or subject discussed on this channel or on this live stream. What I say are my opinions and my opinions alone. They are, it is just commentary to what is happening to a very public situation. If I say that the attorney is X, Y, Z, that is my opinion. It is not fact. It is an opinion. And I'm allowed to have an opinion about the way in which you guys are handling a case of a missing child, because that's what I'm allowed to do. And shout out to everybody in the chat that respects that. However, what we are not allowed to do is go harass people, go, after these people, social media. We don't need to do all that. Okay. We got it. Let me make sure everybody understands what is going on. Hold up. Let me pull something real quick, because I want to make sure I got the time frame correctly. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Again, so we're going to talk about, for those that don't know, and let me segue here before I go to Court TV, because I think this is important. So Sebastian Rogers, here's a timeline. So Tennessee was last seen with his mother in February of 2020. Go away. And his disappearance has prompted very much a massive search. TBI is involved. There's various other agencies, public agencies, that have been involved. People have given tips, but there have been no solutions to what's going on. Sebastian Rogers is still missing till this day. Family has not been named as suspects, but they've also have not necessarily not been named. Like, it's a weird situation. So then you have a case where you have a missing teen with autism, and the family of the parents of both, they're at odds. And you have a father who has aligned himself with a group of people in what looks to be a media company specifically that targets the mother and the mother's husband. And so that's been like a shit show in itself. And people are kind of going back and forth. You got creators getting tramp stamp tattoos on their backs. I don't know. Sebastian Warriors, literally, I don't understand. I've never seen a situation, in my opinion, allegedly, out of whatever it is, I have never seen a situation where somebody decides, I'm going to put the name of a missing child as a tattoo. Now, I said, well, are people dating here? Are people like I just don't, typically when you put a tattoo on it, I mean, come on now, but that's just my opinion. Yes, thank you. He's 15 years old. Thank you. And no YouTubers are trying to make them guilty. There you go. There's that. I'm just gonna say that. All right. So that being said, this is just my opinion. It's gotten pretty bad. But let me just say, I was amazed to see Court TV said, listen, we go talk about the Sebastian Rogers case, and they've brought on Dog the Bounty Hunter before, and they've never not like aired an interview like this. Like, it's aired, but it's unlisted, which tells me they're kind of worried about the things that Dog the Bounty Hunter is saying. You know what I mean? It's weird. Yes. Okay.
Aerial water searches. Nothing has led to the return of Sebastian. Now, official law enforcement agencies, they've completely dialed back, at least with organized searches. But another group of investigators is still working very hard to find.
Now, when he says law enforcement agencies have completely dialed back, I'm confused by this. Like, is he saying that law enforcement agencies are saying, no, we're not working this case anymore? Because when I think of somebody dialing back, I think of like it's a cold case. And I don't think that that's the case for Sebastian Rogers. So I have some problems with the way in which this person is announcing it. Like, what do you mean they've dialed back? Because they've upped the reward and they have, my understanding, some of the searching of what's going on is not really public. So I guess I'm confused.
Find him. Here is an update we received today from Dog the Bounty Hunter and At Night Private Intelligence, a branch of One World. New leads suggest possible sightings or related activity in Oregon and New York.
Wow.
And we are pursuing all tips with heightened urgencies. And that brings us to our...
So is he, okay, because then I heard it was now an international search as well. Like I saw a report, what was it, a week ago, where this was now international. Is it international? Is it not international? What's going on?
First question of this hour, and that's an obvious one. Where is Sebastian Rogers tonight? As so many people continue to look for him and worry about this young man. Let's bring in Dwayne Chapman, aka Dog the Bounty Hunter. He's with us. He's joined this search effort for Sebastian, and he has dedicated a lot of resources, including his time, and attorney Joe Lesniak, who's assisting with the legal aspects of this search. Good evening to both of you. Dog, let's...
Oh, shit. All right, hold up. Let me get it together.
Start with the updates. Where are we here? And if you could, just give us a little bit of more detail on these possible leads in specifically, it sounds like the Pacific Northwest, Oregon, and then something over on the New York-Canadian border.
Well, first of all, you know, I appreciate you having us on the show, and I'm glad my lawyer's there. Let me tell you something, because sometimes I stick my foot in my mouth.
Oh, my God. But he doesn't do anything about pulling it out. He doesn't. He really doesn't.
So, Mr. Joe, are you there, brother?
I'm here, Dog.
Thank you, sir. So, first of all, I don't mean to spin this, but you said a lot of law enforcement and volunteers.
Yo, Jordy T. Let me stop. Yo, I'm trying to like bite my tongue.
And all that were out there searching. Let me tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. Chris Proudfoot was threatening all kind of people that they should go home. Why are they there? He allegedly sprayed some neighbor with water. Hearsay
information. This information is not new. This is not an update. This is hearsay information that's already been put out there. I have heard other YouTubers talk about this. That is hearsay. So this is what they did. They brought Dog the Bounty Hunter up to talk about the Proudfoots, the stepfather, right? And that's been debunked multiple times. So can y'all tell me who is giving Dog the Bounty Hunter the rundown report information? Let me know, because I don't know. Are y'all running this shit? But then he says allegedly. I cannot. You said, is it just me, or is this a segment look like AI generated? I don't know. I mean, you could do anything with AI now.
Water, because they were asking. So a lot of people, let's say, tried to, help and volunteer. But Proudfoot and his cronies, or maybe by himself, was threatening them, stopping them. And I don't know why the people that were threatened and threatened by him allegedly didn't call the police or what is it called? The TBI. I don't know why the TBI hasn't done nothing unless.
Well, did they call the TBI? Allegedly, there was I'm so confused by this. But why are we going by third, fourth, fifth party? At this point, for Dog, it would be like 10th party information. This is not direct information. I cannot with this situation.
They're net deep in it too. I talked to one of the guys, and it was ridiculous. We want the FBI, the marshals. We need the FBI. We need the marshals in on this. And let me tell you about them. They will.
What are the marshals supposed to do? What are the marshals supposed to do? You got the FBI, but what's the marshals going to do about this?
Find what happened to the little boy. They will find Sebastian what happened to him.
What do you think happened to him, Dwayne? I mean, it seems it's very hard to get your head around that he has not turned up after this long of a period of time. Do you believe he was abducted? Is he? What's your gut telling you now that you know enough and have invested enough here?
Okay, come on.
What's your gut say?
Well, first of all, please call me Dog. That's okay to call me Dog. And there's a lot of possibilities. Okay, the worst possibility, of course, you could guess that. But we've checked into sex slaves. There's a lot of kids that are autistic that it's unbelievable, from 5 to 18 years old, little boys and little girls that are in the sex trade. They're catching them right now all over Tennessee. They just...
Oh my God, but you're not giving information that we don't already know. Like, yes, there is a situation as such. Many kids find themselves or get put in situations like that. We know that. Like, what are we doing? Yeah, and apparently they're filming all of this. All right, go ahead.
Caught a kid, I think 8 or 9 years old, yesterday or the day before. So, we want to show those kids pictures of Sebastian. We want to show them those little kids got, sometimes they can ID someone a lot better than anyone else. So we want to show those kids pictures. But again, the ones that I guess found the kids is the TBI. I hate to sound redundant, but
yeah, I have a question about that. This is an awful lot for one appearance fee. So does Dog the Bounty Hunter get paid for these interviews? Just a question, not an accusation. Does Dog the Bounty Hunter get paid for these interviews? Linda, I'm just giving commentary. Like I said, do not go stalking, harassing any of these people. This is a very public situation that we're allowed to give commentary on. But that's just my thought. Is that the way to silence everybody? If we don't agree with something, that's not okay. They don't want to be silenced, so why do we have to be silenced? And I'm not threatening anybody. If anything, I personally believe that, you can't be out there saying that Chris Proudfoot or Seth Rogers had something to do, or any of these parents, because they haven't been charged with anything. I feel bad for everybody involved in this case. And it's not okay. But thank you. Facts ain't defamation. Thank you for putting that out there. This is us giving commentary to a very public situation. Thank you.
We need the federal marshals and we need the feds in on this.
You mentioned the Proudfoots, Chris and Katie Proudfoot. Katie Proudfoot, for those who have been following this, is the mother of Sebastian. She was the last person to see him. Chris, the stepfather, and we invited them on tonight. We did get a hold of them. They declined. Joe,
if I was Katie, I would not even go. You calling me Court TV? No, I'm good. I wouldn't want to. I don't want anything to do with you guys. I want to work with law enforcement to find my son. And what you're doing is not helpful. Can you guys do me a favor and did y'all hit the like button yet? Let me know. All right. I didn't even say anything. Hit the like button, please. And thank you.
Of course they will.
Joe, there's been some pretty nasty rhetoric going on online. Not only, not just people attacking the Prophets, but Seth Rogers has been the victim here of a lot of hate. Why? Where is that coming from?
I think a lot of people...
Actually, everybody's been subjected to hate, both from the mothers. Like, the mother's been subjected to hate. Everybody's been. All of them have been.
A lot of time on their hands. Chris, I think what happens is they get caught up in their own rhetoric, as you said, and their own story, and they want to try and create headlines. They want to try and create something that's not there. They create smoke, and then they point to the smoke that they created. And you're sitting there going, stop, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. And yet they don't care, because the smoke generates more advertising, more smoke, and more people. And they attack not only Seth, but anybody who's aligned themselves with Seth Rogers. Seth and Dog and all these individuals are trying to help find this young man, and they constantly are attacking anybody who's ever latched on to Seth Rogers and the certain...
I don't know about this, but okay. And Canvas, thank you so much. Look at Canvas gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Canvas. Thank you. Make sure you guys are putting hearts in the chat. Why can't I get to my... Hold up. How come I can't react? There it is. Make sure you guys are putting hearts in the chat if you got gifted. Thank you, love. Shout out to you. Thank you. That was very sweet of you. Guilty from the beginning. The mom seems most... See, I'm just not like both of them. I don't want to put that out there, because at the end of the day, we don't know. And I don't want to even like even what he's saying here. But there have been people that have said stuff from both ends that makes me side-eye both of them. To me, it's like what Dog is doing is ridiculous. I don't agree with anything that he says. I think that this attorney, in my opinion, needs to understand that him putting this shit out here, it's a continued push to like an agenda against the parents. What if the parent what if none of these parents did anything? And I honestly think that that's what it is. I honestly think that there's a third party involved. That's not the parents, because otherwise, why not charge them now? They haven't been charged with anything.
For Sebastian, and that should send up signals. You know, I've been practicing in the criminal defense and criminal prosecution world for almost 20 years, and prosecute sexual offenders and other types of cases, kidnapping cases, and it should send up a red flag to law enforcement of people who are degrading and putting down and trying to drag through the mud the people who are helping. And so these bloggers and these content creators, you know, there are some that are very helpful and getting the name out and the information out, and then there are others who are just, like you said, dragging people through the mud for their own education and their own desires to get headlines and people to come and listen to them. You know, and to me, you know, as Andy Warhol said, everybody gets their 15 minutes of fame, but their 15 minutes are up, and we're tired of it. We're not going to sit tight and let these people utilize these powerful platforms online to drag and defame you know, individuals who are trying to find, one who's trying to desperately find his son, and others who are trying to find this young man on behalf of his father and his family. And so
well, and personally, I think, couldn't you say the same, that Dog the Bounty Hunter is using his powerful following and platform to defame people? You could say the same both ways, right? Like, you can't just say, oh, it's one or the other. Dog the Bounty Hunter has a celebrity following, guys. You know, whether it's a Z-list celebrity, regardless of how you feel, because he's also using his voice. What they did right here, why do you think this interview is unlisted? You're using your voice to attack the other side, and don't put anything up there. And for some of us that have been following this case for quite a couple months, we know that some of this stuff has already been put out there, that it's like 10th party information. So you could say the same about your celebrity, your platform being used that way to attack the other side. Sorry, Chico, go ahead.
No, you're absolutely correct. That's exactly what they have done. And I will admit, when his case first happened and the father self started going on panels and stuff, I will admit, yes, they did attack him for the things that he said and the things he put on the internet. I'll admit that. I'm people in the chat, y'all ain't got to admit it. I'm going to admit it. But we had to take a step back and realize he's a victim in this too.
Yes.
I understand. Yes, I mean, of course, Sebastian is the main victim of the story, but at the end of the day, these parents are victims too, and that includes Chris, Seth, Katie, whether people want to admit it or, you know, the thing with this whole situation is you have so many bad actors that's hopping on this train to make these parents guilty of something when there's no proof, there's no evidence, there's none of that. But yet, because they went on a couple of platforms and said a few things and put things out there, that's where folks really started attacking Katie and Chris.
Right.
And ever since then, it has been nonstop. And as y'all see, Chris and Katie has completely backed away and said, you know what? And they've asked people, stop, just stop. This is not helping Sebastian, or it's not helping find him. So let's stop all this arguing and shit. And unfortunately, you have people out here that know if they stop talking about Sebastian, they're not going to get the views, the subs, the money, the clicks, all of that. And that's just the truth.
They play on people's outrage. That's what they do. Like, and I know some people here, you know, you got your kids might have autism or whatever situation that's going on with them, and they play on that. And it's like, none of this is, they're trying to make this one-sided both ways. Like, for me, it's like, I don't necessarily agree with everything that, you know, Seth Rogers has done, but I also feel like maybe he's been targeted to a certain degree by some of these people in the community that have promised to do X, Y, and Z. And let me tell you right now, it's Sebastian. It was Summer Wells at one point. It was Summer Wells. Now it's Sebastian. There's going to be it's going to be another child, guys, because, and then at some point we're going to forget about Sebastian Rogers. I hope that he is found and that he is safe, but this is the pattern. This is how it is here.
It is. And I've asked this question before to somebody else. So I'm going to ask you this question because I love your insight. Where do you think this happens? Like this drama in the true crime community. Do you think it started with Summer Wells' case, or do you think it was before then? Like
before.
With creators inserting themselves in certain cases and making what do you always tell me when I first started YouTube? Do not make yourself the story, right?
Yes, don't make yourself the story. Thank you for saying. You're right. I've said that multiple times. And that's what happens in true crime cases. Creators insert themselves in the story, like getting a tattoo or like doing the most. You know what I mean? Like having interactions with the parent or whatever, or the victim of the crime.
Right.
And that does happen. Some of it is like, okay, I get it if you're interviewing the victim or the parent to bring awareness. But where it gets a little crazy is that you're literally inserting yourself in a case and then taking attention from the actual case. And then you're the martyr. You're the one that's being attacked. You're the one that's the victim here versus, oh shit, I put myself here and it's generated this income for me. That's the reality. Some of you guys, they'll never tell you that. I'm telling you that. I'm telling you that. And then they play in your outrage.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
And that's exactly what a few of these creators have done. They have played on people's outrage. The main thing right now is like freedom of speech. They don't have freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And Tennessee is corrupt. I mean, yeah, we have our fuck shit here. I'm not gonna lie, I cover that. So I'm not gonna lie about that. But you blatantly committed crimes on your YouTube videos and showed us and put it out there for the world to see, and then turn around and say, no, I didn't do that. And it's all about
You must be
freedom of
crazy.
speech.
I don't know how you can fucking gaslight an audience like that. Like, what the
But
fuck?
they do. I'm not gonna say, but they do. They do. They flip it. And to me, I don't be understanding how people. That's a completely different subject. Whatever. But what the attorney was saying, like how like we have just started attacking. No, that's not true. That's not true.
I feel like, you know, and honestly, like I know we make fun of, you know, like I can make fun of the attorney and stuff like that. I don't know the attorney. I would hope that his intentions are correct, but I do feel like they need to scale it back a little bit. And maybe, like, honestly, like I'm going to appeal to the emotion that he wants to do right by his client, which is Dog the Bounty Hunter. I'm going to appeal and say, oh, okay, like if that's what you guys want to do, please scale it back a little bit and maybe review, because there's a reason why did Court TV unlist this interview? That's not a coincidence, guys.
Because they know the pushback they've been getting, like with Vinny has done some things. Like it's hard as hell to find that one with Vinny. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like ex Pika, me and Pika was looking for it one day, and you had to go through a video to find it because it was in the middle of a different video.
Yeah.
And they've been doing that for the past couple of months, and I'm like,
I like Vinny. I really like Vinny, by the way. I don't always agree with everything that he says, but I don't like. For me, it's like, come on, like you guys got to do better, man. Like, don't. That could be your child. That could be my kid. That they're doing this to. You just don't know. But you know, hell, I mean, it's the trending topic.
my biggest thing is the push for the one-sided narrative and making it seem like this parent is the father of the year, while this one was just a shitty mother, and this stepfather abused him horribly. And that's my issue with the whole situation, because none of that has been proven. None of it. You know, they have threatened with CPS records. First of all, you can't even release that because that's against the law, because that's the protection of minors. You can, you can't release
I worked
that.
CPS 10 years. You got to be careful. Like, and even then, I know CPS gets called in here about they didn't do this and they didn't do that. You guys don't know CPS. You don't know CPS if you're sitting there and say what they can or can't do. You don't know the laws. Every state has different laws with CPS. You guys get yourself informed, and there are civil laws in regards to CPS. Like, it doesn't work as people have put that out there. The CPS worker didn't do this. Well, what the fuck you guys think? Everybody going into people's houses and taking people's kids? At one point, it was like that. Then there's been a lot of reform to CPS. So you guys get your shit together when it comes to that. Beautiful Miss Bell says, my comments are being blocked. No, they're not. I see them.
I don't know. I'm not in the chat, so I apologize. I'm not in there right now. So
if you're cursing, they might be blocked, but I see your comment. That's how I see it. I mean, I don't know, man.
I don't like the one-sidedness. You know, at the end of the day, we have 3 parents with a missing child. And what some of these bad actors have, I truly feel like they have attached themselves to the father, and he doesn't realize, like, they're not there for you.
No, they're
They're
not.
not. They're there for their own personal gains, whether it's
Right.
money, click, view, whatever it is. I don't know their end game. I'm not them. But I'm seeing the pattern and I'm seeing what's going on, and like these RICO filings and all of this, and including certain people, and 50 other creators is getting added. Yeah, all of this, blah, blah, blah. We're taking it too far.
Yeah, I think we are.
At the end of the day, there's a missing 15-year-old boy who has autism, who's been missing since February, and he's the focus. He should be the focus. And unfortunately, with the way things have turned out since February to now, it is a shit show. I'll admit
Yeah.
that it is a shit show. But one thing I can say, and I know for a fact, they brought out every agency to look for Sebastian. Now, yes, they did scale back because you can't keep spending millions of dollars looking for one child. You can't. So, no, you can't keep having a Secret Service, TBI, FBI, EquiSearch, and all of these folks. You can't keep up. They have to move on to other cases and other people.
Yeah, they do. There's more missing
But
children out there.
exactly, especially here in Tennessee. And I know this for a fact because I've spoken on it. We got 40 other missing kids that nobody knows about and nobody will mention. Oh, I wonder why. Don't get me started on that one. Very few of them are white, but if they're black and brown, you're not gonna hear about them. I live here and I know what they did for Sebastian, but I also know, yes, they did scale it back some, but they also every week or every 2 weeks, from my understanding, they rotate out the officers on the case in case maybe a different officer can spot something that the previous
Yeah.
officer didn't spot. So they still have eyes on this case. It's not a cold case. They're still looking. You still have people out there that search. No, it's not on the scale it used to be because at the end of the day, you have to move on.
You have to move on. No, I agree. So I just hope I don't know, man. I guess we'll see what happens. I just
I
like I
pray he's
said,
found. I pray he's found. I have my 2 theories of what happened. Either
yeah.
somebody did take him or he
I
truly
think it's a
did.
third party at this point. Like I
Yeah.
honestly think that now it could be somebody that they knew, both parents might have known at some point, somebody that they trusted, but it's definitely giving third party. At the same time as I don't know anything for a fact, I would never accuse Seth or Katie or Chris or any of these individuals of having something to do with this so boldly. Like it just makes me sad to see that they want to quiet everybody for having an opinion, but they're also using their big following and platform to do the same. It's sad. It's sad.
Yeah, it is. So I really hope he's found, and I
Yeah.
really hope a lot of creators take a step back and look at what you're doing. You're making it about you when it's not. You're not a martyr. You're not. This case ain't about you. It's about him. And
Yeah.
all of this hate and pushback that we're giving both sides, like I said, whether you like Seth or not, whether you like Chris and Katie or not, and all the things that happened in between that, like I understand why Katie doesn't have direct communication with Seth. I get it. I understand. If people actually sat down and look at the court paperwork, you would understand why she doesn't have communication with him and why all communication goes through Chris.
Mm-hmm.
But it's too one-sided for me, and people need to look at all the facts, not just one side, but sit down and look at all the facts. And yes, like I said, our side is wrong because I've called out our side too, and I've told them y'all are wrong as fuck.
Yeah.
Y'all are just like they are. Everybody in this is wrong, and how y'all have covered this case is wrong.
Yes.
And that's why I'll speak on it, but as far as covering it on my channel, you're not gonna see it because
it's too much.
it is. And people take one thing that you say and run with it, twist it, and you know how that goes. So
yeah.
But sit down and look at all sides, not just one side. Don't take what one lawyer says with his word for it. People did not run those folks off. To this date, no evidence could be provided as to folks running searchers off, threatening searchers. And we've asked for evidence since when they claimed it happened, and no evidence has been proved.
Yeah.
So. But that's all I wanted to say. Y'all have a good day. I'm about to hop back down in the chat. But thank you for letting me come up.
All right. Make sure you drop your channel in the chat. Thank you, Chico. Oh my gosh, y'all. Shout out to Chico who stepped up and gave commentary to the situation. Listen, I don't think it's going to get any... to me, it doesn't sound like... And you're right, Rabbit. All missing kids need to be in public view. To be found. Absolutely. I agree with you on that. I just don't think none of this is going to get any better. My hope is that he is found, and of course that he's found safe, but at the same time, like, I have a lot of empathy, even though people have said I don't have empathy for this person. No, I have a lot of... It's hard to have empathy, but I have a lot of empathy for Seth Rogers and for Katie and for Chris, like all of them, because they've all have gotten it one way or another on social media. You have people attacking on both ends and using, as the attorney said, they're very powerful platforms to attack. I'm like, you could say vice versa, because Katie is not a celebrity, not a Z-list, not an A-list or D-list, right? And nobody, myself, I've never communicated with that woman. So to boldly put out there that there's been communication or anything like that, that's not okay. That's never happened. But we see, especially if you're a creator here, you know what it is. You see the F shit for what it is, and you could tell what is going on. And it's so easy for people to get caught up in the bullshit of the situation. And then again, this is about a missing child. That's what this is about. But it hasn't become that in quite some time. That's my thought on that. Now, okay, hold up. Let me shout out some people. Wendy A, thank you for being a member for 6 months. And oh my gosh, Cash has been a member for freaking 2 years. Thank you, Cash. Integrity matters. Thank you. Becky, member for 6 months. My goodness, has it been 6 months, Becky? Keep the focus on Sebastian. Absolutely. That's what we need to do. Keep the focus on Sebastian. Everybody matters to a certain, everybody, especially children. We have to get outraged about this because it's just not getting any better. But that's just my thought on that. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will be live later on tonight. Of course, I got to review some stuff. I got a little topic that I want to talk about, but y'all don't want to miss that. Now, did you hit the like button before I end? Please. Thank you. Do that. Do your part and hit the like button. Okay. I'll see you guys on the next one. I got to head out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, of course, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.